Hi, this is Eric Pierce reporting for KTLA News. I'm here today reporting on the case of the state versus Frank Summers.
Um, he also mentioned to me directly, quote, "I am a murderer."
So he said, "I'm a murderer."
Yes, he said I am a murderer.
No further questions.
Well, what you've just seen has just been a small bit of the controversial trial of State versus Frank Summers, the man who could possibly be looking at a lifetime sentence in prison on charges of second-degree murder. With multiple witnesses and a compelled jury, this case will no doubt be the talk of America. Continuing to bring you the latest on the State versus Frank Summers trial, here is a live feed being shown here exclusively on KTLA's news network. Eric is going to be interviewing Mr. Summers' attorney.
I'm here reporting on the case against Frank Summers. I'm here with the lead defense attorney.
Carlos, are you?
Okay, so I have a few questions for you. What is your main strategy going into this case?
I should not comment.
Why did you choose to represent Frank?
Frank seems very guilty, but he is not. I can prove this by the evidence that we have.
Good reason. Now, how are your witnesses going to supplement your case in a nutshell?
They have the testimony to surprise and equally convict him of not guilty. Our witnesses are going to give testimony about Frank, and Frank is actually not very guilty.
How do you think the prosecution will rebut your arguments?
They will use selected amounts of evidence to prove Frank wrong.
Great, thank
Well,
you.
here is a live feed being shown here exclusively on KTLA's news network.
It was self-defense if you started the attack.
It was self-defense for the third party, which is the CO.
It was self-defense for the third party. So you attacked them to defend the CO.
Yes.
All right. So in Washington state law, Title 9A, Chapter 16, Section 060, it is a criminal offense to commit homicide in the defense of another unless the other person is in great danger to death.
May I comment?
Yes.
However, they were going to kill the CO, and as to homicide, I merely subdued them. There was no death.
There was 3 deaths.
Yes, but I was not the cause of 2 of those deaths.
So you're admitting that you're the cause of one of those deaths.
Yes, but it was involuntary and in an act of self-defense.
Alright. Go over each witness in the stress statement.
Position of a hung jury.
Hung jury. Yes, you have heard correctly. The man who was just moments ago thought of as a murderer will leave this courtroom a free man.
Execution attorney Oscar Worthy.
So, how do you feel about the trial being the trial ending in a hung jury?
Well, I mean, it's not what I wanted, but I mean, some people agreed with my opinion, and I feel like I made a difference.
So, how did you use your witnesses to support your argument?
Well, the witnesses weren't critical for me. I mean, the witnesses were basically there to help bring the backstory that he did not act in self-defense, and this was a common occurrence that COs would be beaten. I was really going for the cross-examination where I hit hard.
It was actually kind of disappointing because I thought he was guilty the whole time, and the only reason I changed my vote is because the bailiff told us that we couldn't get any more time, but I would have fought, if there was a chance that I still could have fought.
So why did you end up changing your mind even though it still ended in a hung jury?
I was unaware that it was going to end in a hung jury. I assumed that, we were all going to just be like, majority was, he was guilty.
Oh.
I mean, he wasn't guilty, sorry.
Oh,
he was
okay.
innocent.
So you changed your vote because you were unfamiliar with court proceedings?
Yes, this is my first time I'm part of the jury, so.
Okay, great. Thank you for your opinion. So how do you feel about the trial ending in a hung jury?
I think it's great. Either way, I get to go free.
So how well do you think Oscar represented you in this case?
Considering how he was just doing his job, which was to make the jury think I was guilty, I think he did his job very well.
That's all for Frank Summers versus State case. I'm Eric Pierce signing off.